Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. John Swinney was on TV last night. He was being interviewed by ITV, and they were questioning him about the choices he's going to make. He's already sort of gaslit people and said, "Oh, it's going to be tough. We've got to make some very difficult decisions." Shona's been thinking really hard and has been, using all her fingers and toes and coming up with some very, very hard sums. He was saying. Shona, of course, hasn't. She doesn't know how to use toes to count. She still asks the cat. Cat's more accurate than her. But he has admitted that things will have to change, and change for the worse, of course, simply because they don't want to cut down on the waste of all the independent stuff. So they're going to, rather than, stopping all the independent stuff, rather than closing the foreign embassies, not that they're embassies, pretendy embassies, rather than telling Angus Robertson that he's got to cut down on his champagne and caviar and only fly cattle class rather than first class all the time, that sort of thing. None of that. No. They are going to cut schools, education. They're going to cut health. They're going to cut transport. They're going to cut everything. There's one thing, though, which came out because he was asked particularly about it. And it seems that the council tax freeze may well be thawing. It may be that councils will be allowed before next year, as in at some point this year, as in the next month or so, to put the council tax up. Even though they've tried so very hard to have this stupid idea pushed through, they're now going to have to relent and let the councils put the council tax up because they've got no other way of funding it. They have all these things. They keep offering all these wonderful wages, but the councils can't afford it. And so the council's saying, well, that's fine. You've offered them this. We can't afford it. We've had a council tax freeze that you wanted, so you're going to have to fund this from central government. But of course, central government hasn't got the cash. This is what happens when you allow Shona Robinson anything close to power and control over finances. Deary, deary me. The whole thing's falling apart, isn't it? And he's saying, well, it's going to hurt, but we may have to do it. And that's absolutely fine. So there we go. The council tax freeze is warming up significantly and quickly. It'll be boiling. On top of that, he also made a very strange comment. And I think it's one of those things where, and it happens a lot with politicians, where they think they know something, but they don't know enough about it to know that what they're saying is rubbish. Should we put it that way? Because he was talking that he wants to make Scotland a high-wage economy, and that's why people must earn more. He wants a high-earning economy. I think he called it. Yeah, John Swinney, you are such an arse. A high-earning economy doesn't mean paying everyone more money. No, that's not what a high-earning economy is. Just simply handing public sector pay rises in double figures does not make it a high-earning economy. A high-earning economy is an economy that has very highly skilled, highly paid positions, not simply upping the rates for menial work. That's crazy. You want to bring in scientists, engineers. You want to bring in high tech. You want to bring in cutting edge. These are the jobs that come in. These are the jobs that are paying well. And it's that which means it's a high earning economy. And then they spend their money and that lifts, a rising tide lifts all boats. And that's what's meant by it. Simply paying street sweepers an extra £1 an hour doesn't make it a high-earning economy. It just means that street sweepers are well paid. It's one of those things where you have an idiot in charge who doesn't know the meaning of the words he's saying. They've got the biggest, have they got the biggest public sector workforce per capita of any part of Britain? And it's the highest public capital spending per capita of anywhere in Britain. And yet you're getting so little for it. So many people work for the country, which means that they're not productive in terms of raising tax because all their salaries are coming out of the taxpayer. You need to reduce that, reduce the public sector, increase private sector, and everybody wins. But you can't do that when you start paying the public sector vast amounts of money, because nobody will want to work in the private sector because they're going to earn far more in the public sector. And the only reason that's possible at all is because the rest of Britain are paying for it. See, an independent Scotland couldn't afford it. Literally could not afford the public sector it's got. But again, dumb people in positions of authority making dumb decisions without understanding why those decisions are so dumb. It's almost as though they go in and before you have to be, would you like to be a member of the SNP? Oh, yes, please. Fine. Go through that door and the doctor will give you a frontal lobotomy. And then you come out the other side, dribble, looking like that. And they go, sign there. And you go, and you can do an X because that's about the limit of it. And then they give you a little rosette and they send you on your way to stand in some SNP safe seat. Next thing you know, hey, you're the finance secretary. Seems to be the way, isn't it? Or you're running health. God, who gave Neil Gray health? It's no wonder the waiting lists are getting longer. There's a man completely out of his depth. Or, even worse, they roll you in glitter and send you down to Westminster because there's a whole load of glittery turds down there, aren't they? They got rid of Blackford and Mary Black's gone, but by God, have they still got old Beryl. He doesn't know what he's doing either. Although they're changing the rules and he'll soon be the leader. Even though he's at Westminster, he'll be the leader of the party. You just wonder. But yeah, so there we go. You've got massive tax rises coming in Scotland. You've got massive cuts in services. They're not going to actually get rid of people. That would be strike-inducing. They're just going to tell them that they work less because they can't afford the overtime and things like that. And do that. And at the same time, they're shrinking the economy, so less tax coming in, which means the rest of the UK will have to dip a little bit deeper into their pockets at the same time as the exact same things happening in England and Wales. You know what? We're screwed on all sides. Honestly, we're being screwed like a cheap lady of the night. Be careful how you phrase these things. Don't want to slut shame. But yeah, that's us. We're taking it both ends, and nobody's standing up for us. Nobody. You've got a Tory party without a leader, both north and south of the border. You've got the Liberal Democrats who are useless, both north and south of the border. Who else is there? Reform, unfortunately, aren't there yet. And so we're just being ridden. Permanently and hard. Never mind. Let me know what you think. We'll speak soon. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.